Floor director does this, that means we really got to go. Take a deep breath, then take a look at this.
You take up like the whole entire seat. Oh, no. Oh my god, your glasses are all foggy from your freaking sweat, you fat. If I stab you in the stomach and my knife would go through you like butter, because it's all water.
Those school bus bullies about to get a huge dose of karma. Greg is on deck. He's got a thing or two to say to those kids.
Ooh, I'd have something to say to them.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Love the Eagles. By now you've seen the cell phone video shot Monday in a school bus featuring New York middle school students bullying an elderly female school monitor. Karen Klein was ridiculed, threatened, even as she cried.
Karen, you're fat. Dude, you're so fat. You take up like the whole entire seat. Oh, no. Oh my god, your glasses are all foggy from your freaking sweat, you fat. If I stab you in the stomach and my knife would go through you like butter, because it's all water.
Unless you have something nice to say, don't say anything
How
else.
about you shut the up? Karen, are you sweating? Karen. Oh my god, look at your sweating. You're not sweating. Why is there water on your face?
I'm crying.
Now, watching that, what was your first inclination? I wanted to track down each punk and test the endurance of my knuckles, which is why the police worry for the safety of these kids, because everybody feels that way. Thankfully, Karen Klein is doing fine. A website created to send her on vacation has amassed over $300,000 after one day. That's pretty awesome. But once I get past my own violent fantasies, I realize that we're not all that innocent. As a teenager, I remember being a jerk. My teacher, Mr. Foho, once slipped on snails I placed around the podium. Thank God cell phones weren't around back then. I'd be institutionalized. So I'm not sure there's an escalation of bullying. We may just be seeing more of it because we're recording it, which I think is pretty good. The capacity for human evil is present every day, almost always in mob form. Whether it's kids or adults, it unfolds before passive observers. But when you wonder how these kids should be punished, consider that this video will follow them for years like a stain on a leash. Which is a reminder to all jerks that thanks to the digital age, Big Brother is watching. A good thing for a little old lady like Karen Klein. Bob, are these, like, when you see kids doing this, I want to play a shot from one of the fathers. I wonder if they're salvageable, but let's play this and then I'll go to you.
My heart broke. I couldn't believe my son could treat another human being like that. My family's received death threats. It was a stupid mistake, and he's paying for it, but blowing way out of control.
Is that a fairly good, description of what happened?
No, it's not blown unfairly out of control. The fact of the matter is, it was one of the more outrageous. I'm not so sure this went on as well as you do. And you say you pulled your restraint back. I would not pull my restraint back. These kids are a product of that guy who was just talking right there. If his kid was decent and he taught him right and raised him right, the kid wouldn't do that sort of thing. I think they all belong in juvenile hall, and I think not just a video following them around, but a record is a good idea.
Really? She doesn't want to, Eric. She doesn't want to prosecute. I don't know if there's a crime committed, but this is a wonderful lady. Said that she just, wants to get on with her life, and she's got enough money to buy a new home.
The sad thing is, if it were another kid that they were bullying that way, it would be, people would be absolutely outraged. They'd probably want to do what Bob suggests. It's almost the reverse now. Kids bullying an adult, you don't see that a lot, but why not just put cameras in buses? I don't know, that would stop all of this stuff.
Well, I mean, this is the beauty of the modern digital age.
Well, the only reason we have that is because one of those kids had an iPhone and they taped it. If they didn't have that, we wouldn't know. It probably goes on a lot more. Put a camera in the bus. I'm all for that. Let's see what's going on.
But you guys would line veto it out of the budget. That's the problem.
I think a good thing might be for the parents to have to be bus monitors for a week.
Yeah, that's a great
idea. And to have to see what goes on so that they can talk to their kids about it. Because I remember being bused in Denver. They did the busing when I moved to 4th grade. I actually had to sit up front. My dad had complained about behavior against me on the bus. So then the bus monitors put me up front. And I remember looking, I was just so scared all the time with those ladies. But I think if my dad would have been a bus monitor, then maybe they would have been nicer.
What do you think, Kimberly?
Yeah,
what should happen? Okay, what should happen to these kids?
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to begin with this. Number one, I think they should be suspended from school, and they should have privileges taken away if they're participants on certain teams. I heard a girl in there as well, cheerleading team, whatever, any kind of like after-school activities, if there's special field trips or something come up, they do need to be punished. They need to be educated. I think the fact that you threaten to stab someone, that's a serious crime. So there are ways to deal with this in the juvenile justice system. I dealt with a lot of kids like this that I had to handle in court, and what they do is they try and rehabilitate them, get them counseling, educate them, do community service. You can't just let it go. Obviously, the dad's upset. He's humiliated, but something's also wrong in the home that the kid's behaving like that.
If you don't take my solution to this thing, you take yours. Why not, A, not let them ride the school buses, let their parents have to drive them.
That's a good one.
Let them walk.
And I think is the idea of dropping them out of any school activities. They ought to be suspended.
Yeah.
And frankly, there ought to be a fine levied against the parents. Now, the good news about this is I assume if this gets enough widespread publicity, most parents are going to be sitting around the table at night saying, you see what happened on that school bus?
Yeah.
Don't let that happen.
Can't you send them to juvie for that?
No, she doesn't want to participate and prosecute,
who
but
cares if she
nevertheless,
wants to or not?
the district attorney's office can look at it because there's a number of options that are available, which they call HOP, which is home on probation with terms and conditions. So if they're on probation for a certain period of time and they have to complete certain things like you talked about at this table. So that should happen. I think that is appropriate. You have to intervene now so that they don't become like recidivists and engage in other conduct like this going forward.
All right, we got to move on. I don't think these kids will be getting jobs in a long, long time. This stuff lives forever.